Okay. Yeah, welcome everybody to the Future Forecasting Group. Today we're going to be looking at the world events, predictions for next month, and feedback from last month. We're going to get started looking at the feedback. So I got to share my screen here. So for August, as you recall, we had a couple things that the viewers kind of corroborated their data around. We had sort of a military missile launch that two viewers had said they saw. There was a civil unrest with riots and protests. There were three viewers that had data that reflected that. There was two viewers that had stuff on financial decline continuing, three viewers on some sort of a large explosion or energy release, and two viewers on Bitcoin doing a steady increase. And I was able to find, when I did my final check last night, I got matching news for 4 out of these 5 here. And you guys had a bunch of individual, different, independent mentions that you guys had. And I was just shocked. I was going through and looking at these news stories and these really oddly specific things that were just coming up in the news. So we got a lot of hits, and it continues. I think there was only, 4 in here that were that I couldn't find anything on. There was one that I put a question mark, and that was the UAP news coming to a halt. And it's not because, so there isn't a news story that says, hey, UAP news has dried up. But what I did notice is that there is a stark contrast between the number of stories this month and the number of stories last month. So in a way, I think it was a hit, but it was a hit by there being an absence of UAP news. So I put the question mark there.
There was a legal issue in the UAP news this month, though.
What? I didn't see anything. If you saw something, send it to me and I can add it to the list.
Yeah, it was the whistleblower Goresh. His background history about him having PTSD was leaked to the press.
Really?
And that caused a lot of people saying, this is unethical. You shouldn't be doing all this. And the person that wrote the article was sacked from the newspaper for writing it.
Wow, interesting. Well, that's it right there. Then thank you, Daz. Glad you had that. So for the military missile launch, here we had Dick and Daz with their viewing sessions. And check this out: Russia launches an overnight air attack on northern central Ukraine. It was August 27th that story came out. And here's Daz's sketch. Pretty striking resemblance here to the news story here from, what is that, UK Inform. All three of you guys were on the civil unrest and riots and protests, and there is no shortage of that going on this month. So here's Dick with, he saw a person in flames, and sure enough, there was this arsonist setting fire to a church down in Florida. And this image is captured right before they took off, arms and legs doused in flames because they, I guess they got a little karma. So August 25th from that story. And Edward had the riots and protests with an India. He was getting India, right? So look at this. The crush of people at the opening ceremony of the Indian Ocean Island Games in Madagascar kills at least 12. So nice viewing there, Edward. And here we go with Naeem's civil unrest with riots and protests. He was getting these mobs of people in an urban area, angry, 2x4s. And in New York, we had an influencer that was doing some sort of a giveaway that went completely awry. And a big riot broke out. And people were carrying 2x4s and pipes. And yeah, it was pretty ugly. That was from August 4th. No mystery to anyone here with the financial decline we've been seeing in the news this month. We've got Dick and Daz both had this, he was talking about stocks going down, gold going up. And here we've got the stocks going down, gold going up. And this right here, I don't think there's any doubt, we've got the Maui fire. So it's no surprise to me that 3 viewers were getting this. So yeah, very, very sad news there. I didn't have any feedback to report on the Bitcoin because when I checked yesterday, it was kind of flat. maybe even down a little, but it sounds like after today, this may have come to fruition with that 7% increase. So look at how quickly it can change.
Yeah, it had a real big sharp up just today.
Yeah, so, just today. And it's still August, so there you are. You're right in the window. Mars Discoveries update that Dick had. Sure enough, there was all this stuff in the news about Phobos and the Red Planet. So nice hit there. And you also got a racing death. I didn't find anything on the motorcycle, but there was 2 stories. There was a really bad NASCAR wreck, August 27th. The guy got out of the hospital. He didn't die, but there was a racing a driver that was into racing died on a highway accident in Indiana on August 21st. So there were 2 stories, one with the death, one with the crash at the race. So wanted to get those up there. Dick also had Biden disappearing. Where's Joe? Well, he's taken 2 vacations this month, and he's kind of been avoiding health questions. So that seems to have come to fruition. Agriculture, Dick had bad crop news. Buy commodity options now, failures, harvest issues, weather, some breakdowns. And corn is struggling in several states along with other crops. So I just wanted to put this from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This is from the 28th of August. Now, if you guys or any of our viewers or subscribers have anything that would match this, I didn't find an article on this, but some group of people being freed, coming down some stairs or an incline. I didn't see anything when I searched, but it could still happen here in the next couple of weeks.
There are some people in Iran that were being held in prison, and they were moved out of the prison into like a hotel. And that made a brief news like, oh, the hostages that Iran was holding, they've been let out of prison, but they're still being held.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I don't have the exact details, but I remember I was going to watch that. I was going to set that aside, and then I got busy. So watch for that. Yeah. We are recording this on the, what's today, the 30th, 29th.
29th, yeah. Sorry, okay. I forgot to timestamp it. Yes, this is August 29th. And and isn't that the way it always seems to go, Dick? That the good news stories don't quite get the same level of attention as the drama and the bad news stories, right? So Dick also had the canal ship being disabled, some sort of a blockage. And lo and behold, we have 200 ships stacked up at the Panama Canal due to the water level. And so there is a blockage, and it's just kind of interesting how that works out. All right, this one I thought was really interesting. How often does Ryson make the big news? Well, dual citizen of France and Canada who mailed Ryson to Trump is sentenced to 22 years in prison. This came out on August 17th. It's an older incident, but it's in the news and it's about Ryson and it's in August. So, I mean,
that looks like a creature.
Yeah, we got a real winner here.
We got some freaks here in Canada.
But Ryson in the news. Who would have thunk? Good news celebration, people in white. I didn't find anything, but again, you guys or our subscribers, if anybody has something that they think matches this, please let us know. We'll add it to our hits. Daz, you had a police standoff, taking shots, taking fire, hiding, feel surrounded, hostage situation. Well, there was a suspect in an hours-long Pittsburgh standoff. After deputies tried to evict him, they're now dead. But there was a standoff, there was shooting, and unfortunately this guy died. But August 23rd, 2023.
Oh, that was the big headline that day for a couple of days. Yeah,
indeed. Financial news, country in trouble. And we were wondering, who could it be? Well, there's a lot of news right now about China's economy. They're talking about downgrading it for the credit rating. They had a big, huge Evergrande's bankruptcy, and they're talking about others to follow. And yeah, so I wouldn't have predicted China for this, but there is all kinds of news about a country in trouble. So nice hit there. Daz also, yeah, this was the UAP news halt. I put UAP news slows in August, but and we'll add your article that you said, Daz, to this to round it out. So you had a fire at something like a Hollywood set. I can never pronounce this. Les Miserables or Les Miserables, whatever. But yeah, there was a fire at a theater, prompting the cancellation of a play. I mean, totally fits with a Hollywood set, right? So yeah, that was from August 25th. You also had something about a dam, potentially the structure integrity being questioned. While I didn't see anything about the actual structure, there was news in California about farmers that were saying this Glen Canyon Dam is a major problem in the West water supply, and they're really trying to have this looked at about changing the way that we do our water management. And this dam is the target or the focus of their of the pressure. So it's very, very strongly related. Wanted to highlight it here. I'll let the viewers make their minds up. Edward, you had this large water displacement, kind of like a tsunami, and kind of got this feeling of maybe Indonesia. But what I think is interesting is even though we didn't actually have a tsunami, on the East Coast, the tsunami warning system went off. So people were notified, hey, there's a tsunami incoming. So within the mass consciousness of millions of people, there's this thing of like, oh my God, a tsunami. And it's
was that in Indonesia? You know?
No, it's on the East Coast.
Okay.
But interestingly, there was more tsunami data in the sessions I got for September. So you could be getting something that hasn't happened yet, too. This was the closest match I could find, and it's in the news, and it's August. But yeah,
Indonesia just had like a 7.4 quake, but it didn't trigger any tsunami.
Yep. And so, yeah, you also got this cyber attack, Russians and financial. And sure enough, Russian hackers, or at least they say Russian hackers, crashed an Italian bank's websites, a cyber agency says. So nice hit there. I didn't see anything about a former top news agency for sale, but the month is still going, and it could be next month too. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. Helicopter crash. Unfortunately, 2 dead in a Florida helicopter crash that fell into an apartment building. So this one was another oddly specific one. How often do we see charges being planted in an act of terrorism? So a businessman was found guilty plotting to plant bombs in London. He had a vendetta against 2 lawyers at the National Crime Agency. So August 18th, 2023. I didn't see feedback on someone dressed up
Nothing
in
for
a
the
star costume.
Starman.
I know. I really wanted to see Starman.
We were
That's the
counting on that one.
disappointment. I'm disappointed
Damn it.
That one would have been a really oddly specific one.
But it's
Damn you,
so
August.
big that it may happen 2 months from now, and
Yep.
it's still going to be a hit.
Yeah,
So
we'll keep our
over the
eyes open.
horizon.
Sure.
The
I
month
want to
is
see the
not over.
Starman. So you got a person dressed like a Roman Greek statue, which is really, again, oddly specific and interesting. And how often do Roman Greek statues come up in the national news? Now, it wasn't a person dressed up, but we have statuary heads of Greek gods unearthed in ancient city of, I can't pronounce that, but it's in the Greek news, and it's from August 1st, 2023. So I had to put this in here to reference because, again, how often do you see Greek statues in the news? and Naeem with the alligators. So crocodile, alligator, is close enough for me.
I don't know the difference when I look at it.
Yeah, I don't either. Soccer player unfortunately killed by a crocodile while cooling off in Costa Rica. Yeah, you have these hits on these weird animal things. So nice work. Swimming or diving record. Something with a deep dive or swimming out far. I found 2 stories. Somebody updated on August 7th, 2023. We have somebody's updated story on 10 incredible scuba diving records and statistics. Well, they didn't take place in August. It came out in August. So it's in the news. I wanted to put that up there. We also had a record number of swimmers that showed up for the Bill Keating Jr. At the Great Ohio River. So that was a record involving
I saw a video of some guy, was he in the Greek Isles? Was he a Russian? Some guy set the diving record just a couple of weeks ago.
Really? Okay. I didn't see anything on that, but yeah, I can't always catch all these. So yeah, please send that and we can add it here. And again, to our subscribers, if you guys see stories that are better fits or hits here, please send them in. So a couple more left to go here. Large scale theft and robbery. Naeem saw, men with masks, large scale, people with our hands behind their head. There were a ton of stories on stores that are having to change their policy, stores that are closing their locations because of theft and robbery is just skyrocketing right now. So here's just an example. Dollar Tree says that theft is so bad that they're going to start locking items up or stop selling them. So hard economic times bring these crazy situations about. This is going back to stuff that we had from July. This was a hit that came through a little later. There was something about a food recall that Dick had. And here we go at top of the spears. Holiday warning is more cases of deadly food bug that causes paralysis is detected in Spain. And this was from late August. So that was from July, but it was a hit from one of the predictions. This was also from July from Dick, where he had this thing with Biden standing in the background and Newsom coming in. And lo and behold, Biden advisors bristle at Gavin Newsom's plan to debate DeSantis while he's sitting out. So, I mean, even look at the position that you sketched those in, Dick, and look at this picture here. This stuff never gets old. I'm sorry, Naeem, were you going to say something?
I was saying that's a good drawing in the photo.
Yeah.
That's a good match.
And here's the last one I have for feedback. These were from June. And was this you, Dick?
Yeah, Cliff High sent me this one. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, so you said there's some sort of a failure with the wind farms. And sure enough, here we go. Disclosed TV, new wind turbine collapsed from a wind gust in Germany. So really, really nice work, guys. I'm going to stop sharing that one. And if you like, we can get into this month's.
Good work, Sean. That's great feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nice viewing, guys.